June 6, 1944, 0630 hours, Omaha Beach, Normandy, France. The air screams with artillery fire, a relentless thunder that shakes the earth like the wrath of gods. Salt spray lashes your face as landing craft doors grind open, spilling men into the churning surf. Bullets zip overhead, invisible hornets hungry for blood. Amid the chaos, a squat, olive drab machine growls to life on the sand tires digging deep, engine snarling defiance against the mud and incoming tide. It's not a tank, not a truck, but something in between, a jeep, ferrying medics through the hail of lead. Its frame rattling as shells explode nearby. You can almost feel the freezing water soaking through boots, the acrid burn of curdite in your throat, as this unassuming beast hauls wounded G is from the kill zone, dodging craters and barbed wire. One driver, Sergeant Harlan Hank Thompson of the 1st Infantry Division, grips the wheel white-knuckled, his vehicle leaping over debris like a wild stallion. "Hold on, boys," he bellows over the den. In that moment, the Jeep isn't just metal and rubber salvation on four wheels, turning the tide of hell itself. But how did this miracle of mobility come to be? Rewind the clock for years, to a time when the world teetered on the brink, and America's arsenal was little more than a promise. In the summer of 1940, as Hitler's panzers blitzkrieged across Europe, the U.S. Army faced a grim reality. Their scouts were stuck in the mud of outdated thinking, horse cavalry, obsolete, motorcycles, too fragile for the brutal terrains of modern war. The brass in Washington knew they needed something new, a lightweight, all-terrain reconnaissance vehicle that could scout ahead, carry troops, and haul gear through anything Mother Nature or the Axis could throw at it. Enter the Quartermaster Corps, issuing a desperate call for bids on July 11, 1940. The specs were unforgiving: four-wheel drive, a payload of 600 pounds, top speed of 50 miles per hour, and the ability to ford streams up to 18 inches deep. Oh, and one more thing: the first prototype had to be delivered in just 49 days. Impossible. That's what every major automaker thought. Ford laughed it off. General Motors balked at the timeline. But in the dusty offices of the American Bantam Car Company in Butler, Pennsylvania, a spark ignited. Bantam was a scrappy outfit, teetering on bankruptcy, known more for tiny economy cars than war machines. Their president, Francis Fenn, saw opportunity in the madness. He reached out to Karl Probst, a freelance engineer with a reputation for turning pipe dreams into prototypes. Probst, a no-nonsense speechwriter in his 40s, had cut his teeth designing trucks for the likes of Piercero and Rio Motor Car Company. He wasn't a military man, but he understood machines, their limits, their potential. When Fenn called, Probst hesitated. 49 days, from scratch. But the urgency of the war drums beat louder. Europe was falling. Pearl Harbor loomed unseen on the horizon. Probst signed on for a modest $3 a day, plus expenses. Little did he know, his decision would forge a legend. Picture Probst in those early days, hunkered over a drafting table in a dimly lit workshop, the air thick with the scent of oil and blueprints. No computers, no kid software, just pencils, rulers, and sheer grit. The Army's requirements were a puzzle. The vehicle had to weigh no more than 1,300 pounds, yet carry a .30 caliber machine gun mount. It needed to climb 45-degree slopes, turn in a 30-foot radius, and run on low-octane fuel. Probst scavenged ideas from everywhere: European scout cars, like the German Kubelwagen, American farm tractors, even his own sketches from years past. But time was the enemy. Days blurred into nights as he sketched furiously, his hands cramping from the effort. Then, in a moment of epiphany over coffee at a local diner, he grabbed a napkin. With quick strokes, he outlined the essence: a boxy frame, open top, fold-down windshield, and that revolutionary four-wheel drive. It wasn't pretty, but it was tough, functional, and stoppable. As the clock ticked, Bantam's factory, a ragtag assembly of welders and mechanics, sprang to life. Parts were begged. borrowed and improvised, axles from Spicer, engines from Continental, transmissions pieced together from whatever was on hand. The first prototype, dubbed the Bantam reconnaissance car BRC, rolled out on September 21st, 1940, exactly 49 days after the bid, weighing in at 1,840 pounds, a bit over spec, but forgiven. It was tested mercilessly at Camp Holabird, Maryland. Soldiers pushed it through swamps, over rocks, up hills that would stall a mule. It bounced, it splashed, it conquered. Major General Walter Battlesmith, watching from the sidelines, nodded approvingly. "This thing's a game changer," he muttered. Yet, Bantam's victory was bittersweet. Their small plant couldn't produce in the volumes the Army demanded. Thousands upon thousands for the gathering storm. The blueprints were shared with Willys-Overland and Ford. Under government orders, Willys, a Toledo-based company on the ropes financially, saw their chance. Led by President Joseph W. Fraser, they refined Probst's design, swapping in a more powerful Go Devil engine that delivered 60 horsepower. Their quad prototype aced the tests, and by 1941, contracts flooded in. Factories that once built civilian cars transformed overnight into war machines, conveyor belts humming with the rhythm of urgency. You can imagine the transformation. Workers, many of them women, stepping into roles left by drafted men, riveting frames under harsh fluorescent lights, scrap metal old fenders, discarded pipes melted down and reborn as Jeep chassis. The name Jeep itself, a mystery wrapped in slang, perhaps from GP for general purpose, or the cartoon character Eugene the Jeep, who could go anywhere. Whatever the origin, it stuck. By 1942, Willys churned out 18,000 units a month. Ford adding thousands more. Over 600,000 would roll off the lines by war's end. But as production ramped, the real test loomed on distant battlefields. Would this napkin-born wonder hold up against the fury of combat? One fateful shipment to North Africa would reveal the truth and expose a flaw that nearly doomed it all.